eyes on base. Tune in, press play. All is alpha on the way. Don't blink, just stay. Oh, yeah. Got my coffee and my tabs up. Charts on the screen trying to level up. Bass junkie breaking down that April crypto now we're turning threads into similar. What's a bull, what's a yield, what's a peg mean? They turn the jargon into real life scenes. From airdrop dreams to blue chip streams, they map it all out, now we all on the team. From what is gas, so check my stats. From I don't get it, to run that bag, all eyes on base. Stay locked in, learning Defi while the beats stay bumping. Oh yeah, from the first little back to a major move. Bass junkie, now we got something to prove. Get your notes right, turn that late night scroll to a smart life guide. We just press play, let the questions fly. They explain that yield while the numbers climb high. Click connect, now I see the pool flow. Two-side deposit, watch the tokens grow. LP tokens in my wallet, feeling brand new. Fees dripping in while I'm chilling with the crew. Talking risk and permanent, what that do? They slow it down till the smoke shine through. From rug red flags to the gems in the rough, they keep it real clear so the fans stay up.
Yo! And welcome to this week's edition of Our Eyes on Base DeFi, the weekly talk show where we talk about DeFi yields and how we can make money in these sideways markets. Guys, market up, market down. When you are supporting charts with providing liquidity, it doesn't matter. As long as transactions are happening, you are making money. We are making money. And that's what this show is about and dedicated towards. Guys, as always, make sure you show some love and smash that retweet button and let people know where you are this fine Wednesday. Without further ado, let's pass it over to my wonderful co-host, as always, the knowledgeable co-founder of Noah Taos, Mr. Crypto Noah. How are you, my friend?
My brother from a Portuguese mother. I'm doing good, man. You sound like you got over your cold, so that's good. But no, I'm
survived. Man flu can take down the biggest wildebeest, but
can you take down the
yeah. I'm here to fight another day.
Nice, man. No, I've been good. Cohort started, so we've been jamming out with that. For Yos, if you watching, we're gonna have DeFi Saver here on as a guest in the coming weeks. They have a really good product that's really good for DeFi, so more on that later. But for the moment you guys all been waiting for, since we're gonna be talking about a DEX today, and I don't have a shirt for this particular DEX, but this is I don't know if you can see the logo, but this is a 1 inch exchange hoodie.
Represent.
Got the 1 inch logo here, and
dude,
it's like
what? Don't tell me. Was this actually merch? Was this free merch? Because that looks high quality.
This is high quality, free ETH Denver merch, 2023. My good brother.
Shout out to 1 inch. Shout out ETH Denver 2023. That is a dope ass hoodie.
Fire one, man. How you doing though, man? What's been up with you?
Dude, I'm doing well, man. Like life has been shining on me. And as has the sun. I've been focusing on some things outside of crypto as well, which really have brought me a lot of joy. Helping with the family business, which is education. So I've been taking more of a hands-on role with educating the future generation, and it includes my son, which is great because I'm getting paid to hang out with my kid, so it's pretty sweet. I've been looking at the charts. I've been supporting some of the homies. It's fantastic to see that some of the OG builders are getting a lot of finally visibility and recognition. And supporting them, obviously, it's a nice feeling to know that you're supporting serious builders, but it's also a nice feeling to see, small number become medium number as well in the charts. But yeah, I know finally tomorrow is a bank holiday here in Portugal. I ran on a Thursday, May 14th. I have no idea why. I'm not arguing, but I'm going to the beach tomorrow. So life is good.
Tomorrow's my sister's birthday. So
That's
yeah,
probably what the Portuguese are celebrating.
it will be a crazy day because my sister is cray cray. Shout out to my sister. I love her.
Shout out to your sister.
Yeah.
Thanks for the day off.
Yep. So yeah, no, we got some good stuff we want to talk about today. We're gonna talk about the Clarity Act. We're gonna talk about some moves that we're making / contemplating, do a little simulating. But first, I want to talk to you guys, since this is the base show, I want to talk to you guys about Aerodrome. And we touched on it a few weeks ago once we had Coinfellow on as a guest, but we didn't get to go in depth. I did make a full video on my YouTube, but in case you guys didn't get to go and subscribe and watch that, Crypto Noah, I want to talk about it. So Aerodrome is becoming Base's like liquidity layer, not just a main DEX on Base, right? They're moving beyond just a DEX. Like most people still think of Aerodrome as just like Base's biggest DEX, and we talked about how they're integrated with the Coinbase exchange, and how you can go on Coinbase and buy altcoins and it gets routed to the DEX, but they're even going deeper than that. So what if it's actually becoming the liquidity operating system for the entire Base ecosystem, right? The recent upgrades that Aerodrome announced are much bigger than they seem on the surface, right? So it's not just UI improvements or a few tweaks. They're redesigning how liquidity works on Base itself, all right? So the main point is they're moving from a place to swap tokens into foundational infrastructure for Base, okay? So just a few talking points here. Every chain eventually has a dominant liquidity hub, right? Ethereum had Uniswap, Solana had Jupiter and Radium. Base's answer is increasingly becoming Aerodrome, right? But now they're expanding beyond swapping. And the Aerodrome team is phenomenal. Like I've listened to a few of their talks, one at ECC, and I was like, man, I'm glad crypto got people like this behind it. Like we're definitely not going anywhere except for up and to the right. But Aerodrome's building liquidity coordination, cross-chain routing, MEV optimization, which is miner extractable value, which is whenever there's a transaction, they go into like a mempool, almost like a waiting room for them to be selected to be transacted. And there's a lot of manipulation without getting to the weeds that happens there. Capital efficiency tools and productive liquidity systems, right? So Aerodrome isn't trying to be another app on Base anymore. They're trying to become part of the chain's core infrastructure. So why do these upgrades matter? Well, specifically, the most important ones are flash blocks, and we're going to touch on these briefly. Faster execution, near instant confirmations, better UX, which is user interface, and then lower latency. But faster chains do create new problems, right? So the main point is that MEV actors, miner extractable value actors, and sophisticated bots began exploiting the system, right? You hear about all these trading bots and AI, and liquidity providers providing real liquidity. We're taking risks, they're lopping capital, staying in pools long term, such as ourselves, right? We've been in pools since we started the show. I'm in one pool on Aerodrome that I've been in since before we even started this show, right? Meanwhile, fast MEV LPs, in and out liquidity, and low exposure farming were gaming the emissions, right? Because they do emissions when you stake and all these things that we talk about. So a simple analogy is like, it's like someone showing up to work for 30 seconds, clocking a full paycheck, and then leaving before we're actually doing any labor. Okay. So now I want to talk about productive liquidity because that's what's needed, right? And I say needed as a bittersweet needed because it's needed to advance the space and for more people to trade, but it's also going to attract more liquidity providers. It's also going to lower our yield. So it's a gift and a curse, but overall it's good because it's still an esoteric thing that a lot of people are going to take a while to do, basically. So Aerodrome wants to reward productive liquidity, not temporary mercenary liquidity, right? So to break this down simply, you need to know what a good liquidity provider is and what a bad liquidity provider is. A good liquidity provider, they deepen markets, they reduce slippage, they stabilize trading, and then they make the ecosystem usable. Whereas bad liquidity, they just farm rewards, they leave instantly, and they extract the value. Okay. So an important take is that this is actually one of the biggest problems in DeFi overall, which is fake TVL, total value locked, right? Protocols learn that high TVL doesn't necessarily equal healthy liquidity. All right. So I want to talk about these new dynamic fees that Aerodrome is doing that they added. So now fees change depending on activity inside blocks, right? And all this stuff is happening on blockchains, and blocks are in the business of selling block space, right? So an easy analogy is just like we've all taken Ubers. Think of surge pricing on an Uber, right? When activities spike, fees adjust, arbitrage becomes more competitive, and toxic liquidity becomes less profitable, right? So why does this matter? Well, it discourages exploitive MEV behavior. It rewards real LPs. It increases fee generation, and it improves pool quality, right? So the key point is that higher priority fees force MEV traders to actually compete economically. They can no longer just cheaply extract emissions while avoiding risks. All right. So now I want to talk about this new gauge system, right? To explain gauges simply, they determine emissions. Like, it's like, oh, let me gauge how I want to do this. Think of it that way. They determine emissions, LP rewards, and incentive allocation, in addition to voting, obviously. So let's talk about what changed. Now there's minimum stake in durations. And you might laugh at this, but most pools, it's a 10-second minimum. Okay. So to explain why, and I know that seems like it's not a lot of time, but you got to keep in mind bots are in and out within milliseconds. So previously, bots jump in, collect rewards, leave instantly. Now they must maintain exposure. And a lot of stuff can happen in 10 seconds on a layer 2 blockchain where the TPS is, hundreds of thousands, right? So that's millions of transactions in 10 seconds sometimes. So a simple analogy is that before, someone could run into the casino, grab chips off the table, and sprint before the game even started. But this helps because it's going to provide healthier liquidity, less reward farming abuse, more sustainable APRs, and better ecosystem quality. And as we're wrapping up here, why is this important for Base? Okay. The main thesis, Base wants institutions, right? We already talked about what they've been doing with, JP Morgan, all the things we've been talking about on the show. Institutions, they want payments, they want tokenized assets, they want stable coins, they want RWAs, and they want AI-driven finance. And that requires deep, reliable liquidity infrastructure. Okay. So you can't build tokenized stocks, stablecoin rails, and institutional finance on top of unstable mercenary liquidity. It's like building a house on sand. All right. So it's just like this is the shift from casino liquidity to financial infrastructure liquidity. And lastly, meta swaps. This one's very important. Meta swaps allow native cross-chain swaps. So if I want to swap ETH on the Base network to wrap BTC on mainnet or Optimism or wherever, right? No bridges, no wrapping, no multiple apps, no manual routing. All right. So instead of taking 3 connecting flights and switching airports, MetaSwaps turn cross-chain trading into a direct flight, which saves on gas fees, right? Because going back to the plane example, a plane uses most of its fuel when it's taking off because it has to get that big bird up in the air before it can benefit from cruising using the law of lift, right? And it's quicker and it's safer. Going back to planes, most planes crash when they take off and they land. Most hacks happen on bridges, right? So why does this matter? Cross-chain UX sucks. Fragmented liquidity, slow bridging, security risk, confusing UX, which CoinFellow is helping with the UX part. Why we love them. MetaSwaps abstracts all of this away. So a huge point is that this is massively increase liquidity efficiency, capital utilization, trading volume, and user adoption. So liquidity no longer needs to sit siloed on every chain. Aerodrome can route liquidity wherever is needed most. It's almost like they're going to have puppet strings connected to everywhere, right? So they're literally becoming infrastructure, right? They're evolving into basis coordination layer. potentially routing layer, emissions layer, liquidity marketplace, and cross-chain execution layer. And this is similar to what Uniswap became for Ethereum and what Curve became for stablecoins. But Aerodrome may become the liquidity backbone for Base itself. All right. So most people look at it as just another DEX token, but the market may eventually view it more like critical financial infrastructure. So what does this mean for you guys? Like, why should you care? For LPs, healthier incentives, which we love because that Tipper ETH pool emissions are playing out mighty fine. Less dilution from bots, more sustainable yields, better fee generation. For traders, deeper liquidity, better execution, lower slippage, easier cross-chain swaps. For Base, stronger infrastructure, institutional readiness, scalable liquidity systems, improved user experience. And the final thesis is what Aerodrome is building now feels like DeFi experimentation, or less like DeFi experimentation and more like the early foundations of a real on-chain financial system. The chain that wins long-term won't just have users. They'll have the best infrastructure underneath them, right? And Aerodrome has positioned itself to become a core piece of Base's infrastructure stack, right? So let us know in the comments whether you think Aerodrome is undervalued here, which I personally do, and whether Base becomes the dominant DeFi chain in the cycle and in the future period.
All right, I'm going to put up the Aerodrome chart just so that we can have a view of it. I mean, yes, it is definitely securing itself a position of being like one of the fundamental tokens slash like infrastructures within the Base ecosystem. Right now, it's trading at 47 cents with an FTV value of just under a billion, 444 million circulating market cap. Undervalued. I mean, look, it's definitely at the lower end of its ranges, but this sort of formation is pretty bullish. Like you can definitely see like a retracement, like a bullish retracement of like a simple 2x to get to like the next sort of level of resistance support, and then your all-time highs would be a 5x from here. I think Aerodrome are positioning themselves well. I think the value prop is there. It's just my personal thoughts are on the current state of the market. Are we entering the bull market, or is this a bull trap? I mean, we see like prominent figures on crypto Twitter. I'll put one up I saw today that sort of got me a little bit hesitant. Jake Gagan. Are you familiar with the guy?
No.
So yeah, showing this guy, almost 500,000 followers, 400 something K, a KOL, bit of an influencer, exactly. And like he says the bull run has officially started. Okay, I want to believe that. Let's fucking send everything. But then at the same time, you see other voices such as Dr. Profit. Are you familiar with Dr. Profit by chance?
We talked about him last week's show.
Last week. So look, 2 days ago, I was bullish all the way from 16K to the 120K. Sold everything at 120K and shorted. Said 60K is the next when Bitcoin was at 120K. At 60K, I said 79 to 85 is coming next. And this, ladies, is the local top, 80 to 85K. The big crash towards 50K and lower soon.
Yeah, I'm seeing a few people I respect say widely polarized things. I'm just like, it's tough.
Sorry. There was a slight connection issue there. What were the people you seen?
I was seeing there were people who I listen to, like Data Dash, A few others who are saying, very technical traders saying, oh, this is the start to the bull, or at least bullish sentiment in the short-term future. I'm hearing what people are like Dr. Profit are saying. So I just thought of a new meme, and it's just like you're looking in the mirror and someone's asking, are we in the bull market? And you're just like, eventually, because we know it's coming eventually. So for me, I'm just not using leverage. I'm not. I know you were talking about like shorting Bitcoin, which I don't think is a bad move. I'm personally not convicted enough to short, although I can see why it could be a good move. And then even just pulling up that aerodrome chart again, like that thing is at a support zone that has been like long-term lows, like a very, very strong support floor. So even if it's that's like you see, that's been a floor since good area of support since 2024, right?
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable buying at these levels. Hey, could it go lower? Absolutely. But could it go higher? Absolutely. So that's why it's a good strategy to buy some. Always sit on some cash. Always sit on some cash because things can go lower. But this is crypto and things can turn on a dime. We're supposed to have like some kind of signing with the Clarity Act today. Brian Armstrong was in Washington, D.C. trying to do some last minute lobbying. Elizabeth Warren is still being a cunt, trying to.
I was literally when you paused, I'm like, how is he going to sugarcoat this?
No. Yeah. So they stand with crypto. They're doing what they can to get stuff passed and educate people. So I'm not sure. I know the fund managers and the politicians, they like to go on like spring holiday for a few months. But yeah, man, I'm just gonna treat it like I'm just long term, man. I'm trying to keep the cash flow coming in, keep farming, keep bringing money in from other places, and invest what I'm willing to lose. Invest money that I won't need for the near future. Not putting my current lifestyle at risk. And when things pop, I'll be glad I did it. But they say being early sometimes is the same as being wrong. But it just depends on how long you can be early.
Honestly, man, one of the things that I like and dislike about base chain is that it's a lot slower cooks. Like once you feel like you struck gold, it's like, okay, now I'm just waiting. I'm gonna wait a day or two until the world catches on, and then you find yourself 2 weeks, 3 weeks into holding a token, and it's just either moving sideways or little signs of life to sort of give you hope to hold, or just like sort of like just trending slightly downwards. And then, as we all know, in crypto, there's always a next shiny thing, and it's like, oh man, that has a lot of traction. Maybe I should rotate out of my conviction hold into this firework token that's about to 10x, so I can then rotate those profits back into my conviction holds. And then what happens more times than not, you get wrecked by the time that you are sold on the latest hot thing. Everybody who was going to make money is already in, and you are exit liquidity. I've been that too many times myself. It's a really shitty position to be in. But at the end of the day, like, you need to think. Warren Buffett, arguably arguably the best, at least one of the best investors of all time, said, was it like profit, like money goes from the impatient to the patient?
Yeah. He also said, in the short term, the market's a voting machine. In the long term, it's a weighing machine.
In the short term, it's a voting machine. In the long term, it's a weighing machine.
Meaning speculation versus actual fundamental value weighing in. So, like, to your point, we're waiting on projects like Odai and Tibber, and people are speculating because it's a cool frog and this and this. But once Ribbit Capital announces their involvement, and then they're like the backbone of the AI agent economy and AI agents using the internet, and people are
Yeah,
using OI world models, if they do, like ChatGPT, then it becomes fundamentally valuable because you can see it. But to be a good investor, like Ray Dalio, he's another one of the best investors. He manages Bridgewater Associates. They manage like over 100 billion in assets. They manage money for like central banks and sovereign wealth funds. And he says that in order to be a good investor, you have to be a contrarian. You have to be willing to bet against the consensus and be right. And right now, we're buying shit based off of speculation, right? The voting, but it's not just voting blind. We DYOR over here, and we just
100%.
be
Dude,
patient.
hold it down for another minute. I need to visit the room, and I'll be right back.
You gonna take the drop the kids off at the pool?
It's not that long.
Yeah, guys. So it's regardless of if we're in a bull market or a bear market, eventually the market is going to be higher than this, and we will wish that we had these prices again. So if you can just go to your future self and be like, hey, what did I wish I was doing back then, now that the market's high, or now that the market's low, the answer is going to be have more money and or invest more. Have more money, because if you have more money, you'd be able to invest if it dips. Invest more, because if it goes up, you would have made more. So either way, increase your cash flow while you can. That's what I like about DeFi, right? If you don't have a job, if you're struggling to make cash, you can put money in a pool and have it keep growing itself. I'm not going to say guaranteed, but it's the closest thing you can get to guaranteed out there, because people are always trading, and as soon as you get in, you're making money immediately. You go take a shower, come back, you've already made some cash. So yeah, I would definitely say put your funds into DeFi and do what you can to increase your the old nest egg.
100%. I mean, at the end of the day, like with Tibber, for example, yes, if you're holding spot, number goes up, number goes down from 11 cents to 16 cents. Those who are in the know, if you know, you know. And if you don't know, DYOR, do your own research. We've spoken about Tibber a number of times because we're not in the business to be shilling random tickers, random tokens, flavor of the week projects.
Yep.
I fundamentally agree, and I put my money where my mouth is. Tibber is one of my largest holdings. Tibber and Odai
Same.
are my largest holdings because one, Odai is working on world models, the future of LLMs. There was a company in Europe that just raised $1 billion seed round working on world models. However,
1.03 billion.
1.03 and like 03 is kind of an insignificant number, but we actually think about it, that's an additional 30 million. 30 million is that little 03 on the end, that little asterisk, that little cough after the B, but 30 million extra. They raised that at a seed valuation for their world models company, and yet who is the first to hit the market with actually bringing out this tech? It's an indie startup, a team of a dozen developers working on this round the clock, and they've got a working model already usable for their holders, and that project is O'Day. ODA. O'Day. Honestly, like we were talking about before the show about like making music. I was like, man, I wish I was a little bit better so that I could remix like famous songs because I was thinking of the Bill Withers song. Oh, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, love all day, love all day, love all day, love all day.
That'd
Yeah,
be fun, bro. Actually,
it would be honestly. O'Day needs a theme tune, and a lovely day. Bill Withers remix is
Dude, we
the
might have to
perfect
make
theme
we
tune.
might have to, we might have to make one for him.
Man, the more we talk about making music, music's my ears.
Yes.
But yeah, O'Day, Tibber. At the end of the day, it's long-term projects, not flash in the pan projects that I feel comfortable to talk about. In it for a minute projects. Yeah, I'm a bit of a DJ, and I dabble as well. Nothing too substantial, but if it catches traction, fantastic. If it doesn't, well, let me burn my own fingers rather than share with everybody else. So we all get our fingers burnt, and I think that's one of the fundamental differences between quote unquote shitty KOLs who are using people's trust as exit liquidity, i.e., like valuing others people's capital as nothing, versus okay, let me actually find something that I'm convicted about. That if we go down together because I'm a good buyer. I'm a terrible seller. So O'Day, Tibber, we're in it for more than a minute. We're in it to
In it to win
well,
it.
in it to win it. In it to win it. Exactly, dude. Absolutely. That was the punchline to my setup. But in it to win it, brother. That's what we want to share here. Conviction holds, but also ways to make money on the sideways markets. Because Tibber, for example, although we're both very bullish on it, has not been performing in terms of chart price action. But let me put up the chart.
Liquidity satisfaction. That's another.
Excuse me.
The chart action ain't good, but the liquidity satisfaction is
All right,
potential
this.
missions.
All right, so this right here is the Tibber charts. All right, let
We
me.
also have Uber virtuals. Oh,
Yeah,
you're Uber USD.
yeah. Honestly, this Tibber virtuals chart it gets me every time because
Dude,
it's
bookmark that thing, big mate.
boom.
There you go.
Yeah, the virtuals. Ain't nobody got time for that. Hang on. Oh yeah.
Now you're on
Mm,
market cap. You want to go back to price? Yeah.
boom. Okay. So you can see here on the chart we've gone out of range. This is my range. It was serving me well for a period of time. Share this tab instead. Okay, let's have a look. Let's look at my aerodrome dashboard.
Man, you must have caught the flu or something and still had the little sniffles a week later, huh?
Dude, honestly, it happened like the last 5 minutes. I got maybe a dust ball up my nose, and it's like, hey, by the way,
I'm still
be
here.
sick. Yeah, don't forget about me. Anyway, so this was a position between 13 and 18,000 Tibber per ETH. So you can see here, this was my range, and we've just come to the upside, which basically means that Tibber has been underperforming. You need to use more Tibber to buy an ETH. I could rebalance this. In fact, no, talk to us. What would you do in this position? Would you rebalance like a much wider tranche, or I mean, like we can see here, like it wicked up, but it's also come back down closer towards. I mean, it's 19K.
Um,
What are you thinking here?
so now this is a mixed bag here. So I'm doing a tranching strategy, right? That I've been doing for a while. So my wide range one is still in range and has been for almost a year. So for my wide range, I'll leave it be, but for my small one, I'm trying to maximize my yield, right? Not so much impermanent gain. Um, So in this case, and I'm guessing this is the only one you're in for Tibber ETH. Um, I mean, we're on the what, the day chart. I mean, I might wait a couple days because it's just kind of wicking it. It looks like it's kind of trending consistently. I would probably raise it since this is my only range. If I was in a tranching strategy, I would wait a little bit because it's like, oh, at least I'm still earning in my wide range. But since this is the only Tibber ETH one that you're in, I would raise it. And like mine, I had to actually rebalance mine last night because I went out of range as well. And I just went 10% above and below current price. And the emissions on that was in like the thousands of percentages. So you never know how long the emissions are going to last. And the emissions don't depend on trading volume, right? They're just paying those out in the arrow and they keep the trading volume. And if you go to liquidity, hit liquidity, and then type in Tibber, look at that thing. Look at the emission APR.
Whew.
So it's just like, yeah, I want to be in that.
Yeah, dude.
So I
All
would,
right.
if it were me, I would rebalance.
So this emissions APR, right, 9,000%. That's ludicrous. That's crazy high.
Just
I'm
half. I wouldn't even like, even if it's 4,000, shit, even if it's 1,000, that's over 1% a day. Yeah, give me that. I want to be getting that as much as I can.
all right. I don't. One thing that is a little bit annoying is that we just saw my position here, and now that I'm wanting to make it, there we go, there we go. All right, oof, $830. This was $1,100 when I deposited, but you know the token has gone down itself.
Yeah,
39 area.
it's good that Odai was going up because Tibber's been going down, so it helped shave off the losses a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, placing it a little short on Bitcoin, I was able to make about $800 this week on that Bitcoin short. I took $700 profit, and then just I've got a few short orders, a few limit orders that if Bitcoin pumps further, then I'm gonna be able to like get some position. But honestly, man, this is probably the first time ever I've been shorting anything because I want to be a bull. I want to be a perma bull, but like
It doesn't always.
the masses are wrong so much of the time. I've been wrong so much of the time by being a perma bull, and just like hopium isn't always where it's at. Like, I want to support the projects long term, and I feel if we are going to experience a massive pullback in prices across the board, if I can keep myself solvent slash capitalize a bit on the downside, I'll be a bit in a better position to buy up more supply of my conviction holds
Yeah.
for the next leg up.
Yeah. No, that checks out.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so liquidity. Can you still see my screen?
Yep.
All right. Emissions, 8,000%. Okay. Give me all of that. Plus minus 4%.
I did 10. 4%. Well, I mean, it's whatever you want to do. If you want to manage it often, then yeah, but 8% can happen in an hour.
It can't happen in an hour. There we are. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna YOLO it because I've got no weather. Oh fuck. Okay. So this is plus minus. Okay. I'm not trying to trade these tokens. Can you see my wallet, by the way?
Nope.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just gonna make a trade.
No,
I'm
you
gonna swap,
good.
I'm gonna swap some of my Tibber. Not send it.
While you're doing that, something about Odai that we never talked about. So if you look on Deck Screener, the main pair, as you see, it's FL ETH. That is Flaunch ETH. And Flaunch is basically basis version of a pump fund. And I looked at the market cap. It's like number 100 and something on CoinGecko. So me personally, I always buy Odai with Wrapped ETH. I'm not sure what you buy it with, Base Junkie, but I always use Wrapped ETH. I never buy the FL ETH just because I'm just not. And also one thing I noticed is that I can't send my Odai tokens to another wallet. Have you noticed? Have you tried that?
I have not.
Like I copied the Odai smart contract address. I pasted it in there, and it won't recognize it. Like I can't, because I like to send my HODL positions to another wallet, but I can't. So I've just been, holding it in my other wallet. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I've been meaning to bring that up to you for the past few weeks. But I know I can sell that MF though, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. In terms of sending it, I feel like I could send it. I'm not sure if I ever tried, but if I couldn't send it, I would definitely sell it and then send it.
You can't. How are you gonna send it after you sell it?
As in, if you want to sell it for ETH and then transfer the ETH to another wallet, I've done that before.
Oh yeah. I just mean like I like to hold like my Tibber tokens are in another wallet that's never interacted with a smart contract. So that way I can't be hacked because it's air gapped. But Odai won't let me send it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's the only token that I've seen that for.
Right. That's strange. I mean, one thing I thought was a bit odd with O'Day was, I sometimes it wouldn't show up in my wallet, but then other times it would.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But we're in profit, so I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
That
All right,
makes
mate. So all right, big mate. I've staked my deposit. Go to dashboard. I've got a super tight range. Currently give me an APR of 2,700%. I'm in it to risk it for the biscuit. I think this is 2% up and down. So let's just go sideways, guys, for the next 6 months, and let's that would just be much appreciated.
That'd be crazy. I'll be like, fuck, man. You really caught that one.
I mean, like, we just need to like hang out, like, oh, hang on, like, we just need to like just hang out here. Come on, guys, like, follow this blue line. This is the blue line home. Let's do this.
It just did that.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yep.
But dude, let's put a ribbon on this. Like, any final words or anything you want to talk on before we wrap this up?
No, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Keep showing up. We're gonna have some more special guests coming on here pretty soon. Keep updating you guys on Tibber and Odai and any other opportunities that we find out. Hit that QR code. Oh, it's not up there. Hit the join our cohort. We are in week 3. We do still have scholarships to give out, even if you don't want to join or can't join this season. We are doing season 3 in July. Let me know if you guys are going to be in ETH NYC. If I do, I'm gonna grab you another shirt, Big May. I still gotta send you that package. And if you want to learn about DeFi, hit the QR code as well. Join our free community. That's it.
Boom. So yeah, QR code up there. join the No Hours community. If you're going to be at ETH NYC, link up with Crypto Noah. If you are Europe based and you're going to NFC Summit, link up with your boy.
Are you going?
Yeah, man.
Nice.
I got my tickets, and yeah, it's funny because I played paddle with the guy today, and he was just telling me that he was into AI, and I know him from like another world. Like he's a handyman. He's a handyman by trade, and he's been going to these AI conferences up in Lisbon. He's going to NFC Summit. I'm like, bro, what the heck? Like, fair play to you. Like, all power to you. Like, let's go. Let's go together.
When worlds collide.
Worlds colliding. It's gonna be awesome. So yeah, definitely looking forward to the NFC Summit.
You guys currently up there?
We might get a train. It's fine to get a car. I drove up last year and I got my car clamped. I parked right outside the venue, thinking, "Oh yeah, this is a good spot." No, man, rookie mistake. It was like 200 euros to get it unclamped, and plus all the tolls. I'm like, oh, dude, this was like 500 euros to be here today. Like, but I met you. No, I don't think I met you there.
No, I met Clarissa there.
You met Clarissa there. Yeah, I knew Clarissa from the previous event in the south.
Okay,
but we were just we were both circling the same. We probably bumped into each other.
Probably.
Just like, oof, like, hey, sorry.
Like, hey, motherfucker. Hey, man, nice to meet you. To someone else.
Hey, you're a big fella. You should be a big mate. Yeah.
Enjoy that, man. Wish I could go again. Last year was a lot of fun. I met some great people. So
it's a good spot. It's a good spot. But I'm also jealous of all the American events. But I am grateful and bullish the fact that Europe is hosting more and more solid crypto events, and people are flying across the pond from that way. That's it. From that way to the European events, it's a bullish signal that these are events worth attending. So, the fact that it's just a short train ride up or a little car ride, I won't be missing it.
Yeah,
but bro, thanks, man. Well, listen, it's always been a blast. It's always fun to learn new things and talk about current affairs and how we can make money. I am very curious how many hours I can be making money on this 2,700% APR pool. Guys, let's fucking send Tibber sideways.
Send it sideways
for your boy.
Sell it immediately.
That's it, guys. But yeah, I'll make a tweet about it once I'm out of range, which will probably be by tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, absolute blast. We'll see you in the next one. And I want to say a big thank you to everybody who tuned in today. We do host these shows every Wednesday night to talk about DeFi yields and how we can make money on these sideways markets. We'll see you on the next time. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy, but most importantly, stay based.
Peace out.
Peace out. Oh, hang on. Smooth outro.
I'm a baseline junkie. I'm a baseline junkie. Tell him again. I'm a baseline junkie. Tell him again. And I like it.